Imagine asking a Slack bot a company question and getting the answer instantly from your company's knowledge base. In this video, I'll show you how to build an AI agent using n8n that does exactly that. Most teams waste hours digging through docs, wikis, or asking internal colleagues the same questions over and over again, such as policies, frequently asked questions, or even onboarding docs that are stored in Google Drives lost somewhere. Instead, I'll connect Slack to your documents so the answers come directly to your team. So what we're going to do is ask it a question about our shipping policy. You'll see the workflow start to initiate, get the information. There's the answers, and it's correct. So let's take a look at how we can build this with n8n and implement it into your company's Slack. First up, let's create a Slack app. If you haven't already done so, create a new workspace. Once you've created your workspace, click on Add Apps, and then click on Browse Apps, and then click on Build. Here you'll be able to create a new app. So when you're creating a new app, make sure you click on From Scratch. Enter a name, so we'll just call it n8n Demo, and then pick the workspace that you've just created. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll configure the scope of the app. Click on OAuth and Permissions. Scroll down and then let's add our scopes. So these are the scopes that you'll need to add. Once you've done that, scroll back to the top and then click on Install to Red AI. Make sure you click Allow, and then quickly go check your Slack workspace to make sure that it's been added as a new app. And we'll want to create a new channel for our n8n bot. So just select Channel, and we'll want to call this help-n8n. Make sure it's public and click on Create. So now let's go to our n8n workflow. The very first thing I want you to do is to configure the Slack trigger. So if we double click on the Slack trigger, we'll need to go ahead and set up the credentials to our Slack account. Click on the downward facing arrow and click on Create New Credential. In order to connect n8n to Slack, we'll need to get our access token. So to do this, go back to Slack and make sure you're in the OAuth and Permissions tab. Then copy this OAuth token here and paste it here. Click on Save and you should see a connection tested successfully. Now click out of that and we'll want to change the trigger on from a new message posted to a channel to a bot/app mention. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the channel to watch. So make sure it says From List and then select the channel that you've just created. Now the next step is we'll want to go ahead and enable event subscriptions. So make sure you're in the Event Subscriptions tab and then click on Enable Events. This will allow our AI agent to receive new messages anytime that they're mentioned. So what we'll need to do is go back into n8n, double click on your Slack trigger, click on the webhook URLs, click on Test URL, and copy this URL here, and paste it as the request URL. Next, we'll want to subscribe to bot events. So open it up, add a bot user event, and it's going to be mention. So anytime a user in Slack mentions our bot, it will then trigger our workflow. So the next step for us to verify our URL is we'll need to actually execute our test workflow. Now to do this, we'll need to resolve the red errors. So I'm just going to connect the chat bot to our OpenAI chat model, and I'll just delete the sender message to make it easier. Now we'll be able to execute the workflow, and it's going to be waiting for an event for us to trigger into Slack. So go back to Slack, and then click on Retry. Here you'll see the request URL has now been verified. The next step that we need to do is add our Slack bot to the channel. So if we go into Slack, make sure you're in the new channel that you just created, and then mention the Slack app that you've just created and say hi. What you'll see now is that they're not actually in this channel. So simply just click Add Them. Now our bot is in the channel and is able to receive any app mentions. So let's test this out. Click on Execute Workflow, and then it'll be waiting for a trigger event. Let's go to our Slack channel and then @mention and say hi there. If we go back to n8n, we should see now a green box that indicates that our Slack trigger has successfully received the event. Double click on our AI agent, and what I want you to do is to drag the text field to the prompt user message. This allows us to pass through the message from Slack to our AI agent so that they can respond to it. You can see below that I've configured a system message that says, "You are a helpful internal AI assistant on Slack who uses the Google Docs tool to answer the company's FAQs from employees." So let's go add the Google Doc tool now. So click on Add a Tool and then search for Docs, and we'll use the Google Docs tool. You'll want to add your Google Docs credential, and the easiest way to do it is just to use OAuth to automatically sign in with your Google account. And then we'll pass in the Google Docs URL, which contains our frequently most asked questions. So you can see here, I've just got the company's most frequently asked questions around the ordering and payments, shipping and delivery, returns and refunds, and etc, etc. So we'll copy the URL, and then we'll go ahead and paste it down there, turn simplify off, and let's go test it. Click on execute step, and you should be able to see the JSON output. The next part of this workflow is to give our AI agent memory. So this means that the AI agent will have context of the previous messages that the user has asked it. If we don't do this, the AI agent will forget what you've previously said to it. So it won't remember any context such as what is your name, what's the customer number, those sorts of things. So click on add memory, and we're just going to add simple memory here. What I want you to do is to click on define below and then paste this JSON here. What we're doing here is we're concatenating the team, channel, and the thread ID. This allows the AI agent to have memory of every single message in a thread, and we'll give it a context window length of 5. So the last step of our workflow is to connect the sender message to our AI bot. So connect the AI agent to the sender message, and then double click on sender message. You'll want to add your Slack credentials, and then for your sender message, choose channel, and then select the channel that you've created. And let's just type in a message so that we can trigger our AI agent. So click on execute previous node, and then mention the n8n app, and then go back to your n8n workflow. So now we'll be able to paste the output from the AI agent to our message text. And finally, we'll add a new option, reply to a message, and then click on reply to a message, and then select your Slack trigger, and then select TS and drag it to the message timestamp to reply to. This will allow the Slack bot to reply directly to the user's message in the same thread. So let's click out of that and save it. Now let's go execute the workflow. So let's test our bot out. Hi n8n demo, what is our shipping policy? And cool, you can see it's created our reply. Our shipping policy includes the following. We offer standard and express shipping options. We ship internationally to many destinations. Once your order has been shipped, you'll receive a confirmation email for tracking number. If your package is lost or damaged during transit, please contact our customer support team immediately. So if we go back to our knowledge base, we can see that we found the answers here. What are our shipping options? Do we ship internationally? How do I track my order? And what to do if my package is lost or damaged? So I'm going to do one more test. I'm going to test to see if simple memory is working or not. So to do that, I'm going to say, hi n8n demo, my name is Chris. And we'll just wait for a response. Cool. So you can see it's replied, hi Chris, how can I assist you today? If you have any other questions or need information, feel free to ask. So let's ask it a follow-up question. Hi n8n demo, what is my name? And it's replied, you mentioned that your name is Chris. How can I assist you further, Chris? So this functionality is something that's very important for an internal AI Slack bot. It needs to be able to remember the context of what the users previously asked to give the users the best user experience. Otherwise, they simply won't use it. So that's it. And my question to you is, would you trust an AI bot to answer your company's FAQs in Slack? Drop a yes or no in the comments below. And if you want the workflow automation for free, don't forget to sign up for my automation vault. The link's on my bio. And don't forget to subscribe for more n8n tutorials.